The Chusky Boys!
This is Chad with Hemlock. What does a Chusky boy looks like?
Chusky Boys, what's that?
Chusky Boys, not to be confused with Husky Boys.
The Chusky Boys.
I believe y'all guys are listening to the Chusky Boys.
This is William Duvall, and you are listening to the Chusky Boys.
We're back, Chusky listeners. We are at episode 21, and we set it up last week. So we had the reimagined episode with Brian Herb, the guitar tech for Alice in Chains, as well as done some work with some other bands, including Bush and more recently Korn. And the big takeaway was that we were gonna talk with Mr. Dusty Hirsch, Chusky Dusty, right? We don't even have a special guest. I mean, there's no means by he is not a special guest. He's the Chusky boy, and we're gonna talk about the meet and greet that he had, the first show on Jerry Cantrell's Brighton solo tour, where he stopped in St. Paul, Minnesota. Paid that VIP and has great stories to tell. And we got we're hitting it up. I mean, listen, guys, we're big on YouTube. I ain't even gonna lie. Okay. Like, this is a big deal. And I mean, next thing you hear from us is probably gonna be on MTV. I mean, it's that big. This is a big deal. This is fucking huge.
Famous.
Carson Daly, call me up.
More importantly, the Sketchy Goat's here, where we can also talk about the tour poster for the Minneapolis show. So, Dusty, Carmen, on this Wednesday evening, how in the hell are both of you? We pretty much, I haven't talked to either of you. Well, Dusty, I mean, you text me all the time. Fuck, I can't make you stop texting me.
Attached at the hip.
That's kind of mean, actually. That's like the meanest thing you've ever said to me.
In over a week since last week's episode was, we'll call it reimagined, we'll call it a rerun, we'll call it what the hell ever. But how are we doing?
It's the Brian Herb episode in syndication, which I have not seen a paycheck from that one yet. It's been in syndication for like 3
Where's
fucking
the mailbox
years.
money?
Yeah, where's that at?
Listen, guys, there's bills to be paid, and I'm a greedy son of a bitch. And I'm a greedy son of a bitch.
I've seen JR's truck and his side by side and his house.
Nice.
He's got all those kids he's paying for. There's something weird going on.
Yeah, well, you're about to get paid that YouTube money with the amazing videos you posted on the Chusky Boys YouTube.
Right. Like 26,000 streams down the last 6 days.
You're like an influencer.
All those had copyrights on them, and we can't monetize it all. I think it's important that you all know that. It's awesome. It's great traffic. We ain't getting paid shit. All right.
But bear witness to the amazing show that Dusty captured for us all in really good quality.
Anything to mention on the road trip there? I mean, that's what, 9-hour drive, 10-hour drive?
Yeah, 9 hours, had good roads. I had the best carrot cake I've ever had. Matter of fact, I had to stop at that exact same gas station on 35W out of town to buy 3 more of those carrot cakes. They were so damn good. Quick trip. Yeah, you know those quick trips down in Texas, Goat?
Texas and quick trips don't go together. I don't know if you've ever driven across the state, but you're better off driving across country than, especially where I'm at. I'm at as we say in El Paso, we're just the tip of Texas, and everything remotely cooler than us is at least 4 to 8 hours away. I think 4 hours from here you hit maybe Midland. I think that might even be 5. So yeah, quick trips in Texas, not really a thing. It's beautiful. It's very pretty. It's a very pretty drive.
So you get in, it's the day before, right?
Yeah.
And I know you're on like TMZ hunt trying to find the band or anything, aren't you? You're just hanging around. And
we didn't actually. We were so tired. Our hotel had a really cool. We stayed at the Doubletree Inn. It's called in St. Paul downtown, and our hotel had a really cool like skywalk. It's called on top, like a new spaceman technology that connects like buildings and all those other things downtown, like above ground. And there's a really cool hotel bar. I'm sorry, a bar restaurant connected to the skywalk on our hotel that we found eventually, like 11 o'clock at night. Super sketchy. It's like a 2-block walk on the skywalk. And my brother and I were just walking. They're like, oh, finally, here's a restaurant. And they had karaoke that night, actually. It was pretty cool. Well, lo and behold, right outside of like the bar area, the big windows, there was this big neon sign that said Palace Theater. I'm like, oh my God, that's like our venue, like right there. Like, it's connected to our hotel. I had no idea at the time. And yeah, so we were excited for that. But no, we didn't walk around, and who knows? Like, I know where they stayed. I know where the band stayed. But we didn't care about that. And then we ended up going to the friend of the show, Brian Herb. Shout out to Herb. He was on last week. We reimagined episode last week. he told us the best bar in St. Paul, so we got a Uber or a Lyft or whatever it was.
Uber.
And went down there. I wish I could remember the name of it. I was just looking at the Google review I did of it. Anyway, a super cool little bar downtown St. Paul. Had a couple really good drinks, good prices. Came home and back to the hotel, I should say.
Yeah.
Listened to my brother Daniel snore for 7 hours, like he summoned the devil.
You're just nervous he's gonna die. Like if you don't hear it, you think he's dead, right?
And two times I woke up out of a dead sleep and said, "Holy shit, he's dead." I thought for sure he was dead on my watch. My mom's gonna kill me. And no, he was
Worst trip ever.
He was turned around with his face buried in the sheets.
He was just holding his breath.
He was turning blue in his lips. I'm like, good, I can get some sleep now. Next morning, I got up kind of early, not early, but like 9 for like, well, no, way earlier than that. By the time I got up out of
That's
the
pretty
shower,
early.
I'm usually up at like 5:36. So, anyways, got up, walked
It's bedtime.
over.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I had to be the first in line per se, even though I wasn't waiting in line. But I went over to the theater and took some pictures and posted them up on the Jerry Cantrell pages. And there's a few tour buses sitting there, of course, which is kind of cool. And yeah, so anyways, the Palace Theater is owned by the First Ave people. First Avenue, of course, Prince's famous downtown bar and theater, whatever, in Minneapolis. So all the First Ave people were down there, unloading the truck, and yeah, it was fun. And then our good friends Max and Mark, shout out to those guys. We've been to all over the damn country, Minnesota, Colorado, California with those guys for these shows. They showed up finally, and it was a really good time, man. Had super nice hotel. And so with a VIP, essentially what you're getting at, we got to line up at 3:00. So I don't want to say going at 3:00 because we didn't go in until 4:00. They had us waiting out there in the freaking drizzling cold, which is fine. Probably why I'm sick right now. Waiting in the line at 3:00, got in right around 4:00. Got the last, they said 15 minutes of sound check. It's probably closer to 30 minutes or more, probably more than 30 minutes. Jerry was upset, not upset, but he wasn't happy with a few of the songs. There's a few things weren't working.
Where do you get to watch soundcheck also? Is it like on the side of the stage or at the rail?
Yeah, good question. So this particular venue had the rail, which I was for the show. Then it was probably, that bottom part probably came out about, 40 feet. And then there was like a 2 feet higher part, and we had to stay on that part, right? So there was a rail to hold on to. And then right behind that was the bar. It was actually super nice.
How many people were part of VIP, dude? Just
exactly 40.
Oh, it was? Dang.
Yeah, there's 40 of us. 39 because one guy didn't show up until 6:00, and goddamn, that was funny. I felt so bad for the dude, missed the whole thing. I didn't get no goddamn email. Like it was, it was painful to watch. Poor bastard. And the other guy almost didn't get in, and he's a Chusky boy. He was Chuskier than the Chusky boys. And he almost didn't get in because something about his COVID test, because they're very strict, which we all knew about for months. And
really? Okay. So did you have to bring your vaccination card?
Vax card or a negative COVID test. And the dude's like, "Oh no, I'm emailed some. I don't have to do either one of those." I'm like, well, fuck you, dude. Like if you don't have to, then why do we have to? You know what I mean? I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying I totally agree or disagree. I might get into that. We don't do that on this podcast.
You got to play by the rules. Other people should play by the rules.
You got to play by the rules, man.
That's
like,
right.
Fuck you. You shouldn't get Jerry sick on the first fucking night of the tour.
Yeah, no shit. We got to see him at the end of April.
Chusky Boys PSA, please, if you're listening, do not get Jerry Cantrell sick. It's just a request. But how would you describe the people that bought the VIPs? Was it mainly guys in a certain age range, or how would you describe it?
Shower? Do they bathe? Was it pretty kind of 50-50? You being part of the 50 not bathed?
They're typical Minnesota people, so it's really good Midwest people, middle-aged.
Because these are expensive tickets, right, Dusty? I mean, what, over $3?
Yeah.
Well, so it's pretty pricey, damn. Because that doesn't include the ticket either, right? That's on top of a ticket.
That's correct.
Your wife's not going to listen to this, dude. Just feel comfortable answering these questions.
$100. We met these gals, super cool. They're twins, which kind of freaked me out because I only met one of them. And then one of them
you
came
and
back.
Daniel kind of look like twins.
Yeah. But to answer your question about the VIP meet and greet, there's 40 of us. I don't know how many people got the early entry VIP. Why I brought the twins up, they had the VIP early entry meet and greet, which I found out the next day from my brother. That's how they got in early. I forgot about that. That was $100. Then the $300 one. Then you, of course, have that $5,500 meet and greet, which includes his guitar, right?
Yo, for $5,500, I want the guitar he played at the show. I'm just throwing that out there, Dusty. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, I know.
That's a $10,000 guitar anyway. I mean,
Well, that the VIP meet and greet guitar, I should ask Tom Brino. I think it's $3,800. That Epiphone.
you get what you pay for.
Yeah, Anyways, get in at 4:00 to do sound check, and as we all know, one of the YouTube videos right now, Wednesday evening, has 10,000 views. We just cracked 10,000 views here.
Damn.
Of Sea of Sorrow. So I knew right away, and honestly, you know how I knew this? I knew they haven't played it for a long time, but I remember it from watching the Rich Eisen video, when Rich Eisen had Jerry Cantrell's been on Rich Eisen 5 times, probably. Maybe
he's talking
6.
like fantasy football, right?
Exactly.
They're interesting.
Yep.
And a caller called in and said, or no, it was actually a tweet to Rich Eisen, said, "Hey, Jerry, got a tweet, and try to do these, 2 questions if you don't mind. This tweeter wants to know when you're gonna play Sea of Sorrow again. It's been more than 25 years. And that video is like 5 years old." I'm like, holy shit! Like, I know they haven't played Sea of Sorrow forever. So I told my brother Dan right away. I'm like, dude, they haven't played this song since like 90 or 91, 92. And he's like, no way. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
FM list or whatever. There's that website you can go back to. And it kind of has like all the
So we did search it, and it said 1991 is the last time I played it. Whether that's totally legitimate or accurate or not, I have no idea. Why Jerry decided to play it with, without Sean, especially, and even Inez and William, who knows? But I'm glad they did, because we got to listen to it. So they sound checked that in sound check. It was perfect. So then I got to listen to it on the rail as well during the show. But yeah, the set list. I don't know. What do you guys think of the set list? Like, I'm just one opinion. I think it's pretty cool. People are pissed off they played 8 Alice songs, but I'm like,
oh no, when I was looking at it, dude, like all the videos and stuff that I saw was all like Alice in Chains stuff. And I'm like, dude, the guy just dropped a new record, Brighten. He has Boggy Depot, which I think is completely still underrated to this day. And then of course Degradation Trip Volume 1, Volume 2, right? Of course, ended up being they released Degradation Trip as one album at first, and then he had the opportunity to release all of it in the form he wanted, right?
Yeah, A and B.
And that, after I ended up actually seeing the set list and not just the videos that you were uploading, of course, that was what my primary focus, of course, was, because that was badass from your perspective, that I thought the set list was fucking rock solid, dude. I really did. I looked at that, and I mean, you had a couple
Psychotic
tracks
Break
from Boggy Depot. Yeah, exactly. And so from my perspective, I'd have been happier than shit, tickled pink, whatever, of what they ended up playing that day, dude. Honestly, because I remember texting you that. Remember, I'm like, dude, do they play any of the new stuff? And you're like, yeah, I mean, you're still recovering or driving or whatever. It's like, yeah, they, yada, yada, yada. Well, then I ended up finding another YouTube video, and it broke down the set list and everything. I'm like, as an Alice in Chains fan, as a Jerry Cantrell solo artist fan, that's good shit. I'd be happy.
Awesome.
They played that in Denver at the end of April. I'd be happy.
Yeah. Hopefully we can hear Psychotic Break again, because that's probably my favorite song he played.
But when you heard Sea of Sorrow, and I'm going to do a throwback, brother. When we went and saw them in Sioux Falls, I don't know if you remember that, and that was that big festival or whatever, and they dropped Rotten Apple. What were you more excited to hear when we heard Rotten Apple or Sea of Sorrow?
Well, those are 2 different experiences too.
Yeah,
that's got to add to it.
Yeah, but it's still the fact
throws
of
it off.
You've seen a lot of Alice in Chains shows,
I have.
and you never heard Rotten Apple, right? Because remember, I'm like, dude, is this fucking Rotten Apple, dude? I don't think they play this live often.
Yeah.
And I did not have an opportunity to listen to Sea of Sorrow. But anything off of Jar of Flies outside of Nutshell, I think is pretty rare live. I don't know. Maybe got me wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Got me wrong is they play Avery.
It's a staple, isn't it? Yeah.
Thank God. That's probably my favorite live song.
Yeah. But anything else off that? I mean, we call that, it's safe to say, that's a deep cut, right?
I mean, Sea of Sorrow, I'm sure Rotten Apple, I know we looked it up and it wasn't as deep of a cut, but it was really rare. Like their top, 5% rare songs.
Well, they played the shit out of it back in the day when the album dropped, and then they quit, whereas Rotten Apple is just kind of sprinkled in
live. And I have no idea what the explanation is why they haven't played Sea of Sorrow for so long. It has 2 videos for that song.
3 technically, but 1 didn't make it, I think. But I mean, the vibe of that has just got to be right, and it's really cool that he brought it out for that and so many other songs. It's just got to be a feeling. Yeah,
I was seeing dollar signs, not literally, but when they sound check Sea of Sorrow, I'm like, dude, we're gonna be on the rail, and I'm gonna record this bitch in 4K. I hate recording full songs because you want to be there in the moment, but I did, and I don't regret it at all. Because I was on the rails, so I had my phone down in my left hand, and then I was kind of rocking out with my right hand. But to answer your question, dude, honestly, probably rotten apple, man. Like now that I think about it, but it's got to be close to a 50-50.
I can, brother. I can appreciate that though, dude, for sure. Am I a little jealous? Absolutely, dude. The more I think about it, I'm like, God damn, I should have went. But I hopefully Denver has some surprises for us too, dude.
It was similar to the LA Pico Union show, I guess, as far as the deep cut Jerry stuff. Like it's a Jerry solo show. You've been to a Jerry solo show. I never went to those ones back in the day.
Dude,
but
I legit, no shit right now. I am on setlist.fm trying to pull the set list up for when I saw him I think it was 2002. And it was the first tour, I think, when Comes with the Fall was his backing band.
WD. Yep. Nice. As soon as we're looking that up, VIP meet and greet. I keep getting off track. So we did the sound check, was super cool. His last show he did was 838 days prior to this show. And that's, of course, you count the Goat show, which is a show. Like, so it's a show. It's a show. They had like 6 songs, right?
Yeah, but then there was like a whole hour of them talking and being really, really funny. Yeah. This stuff no one else got to hear, so totally worth it.
So at least the show that I went to in his last full-length show, if you will, I don't want to be disrespectful to that show because it was awesome in LA. But the Pico Union show, 838 days. I was the last VIP for that show. I was the last VIP for this first show, and I had to make sure I told him that, which he's like, whatever. And did the meet and greet. So I was in the last. My brother and I were the last 2. I just figure like just experience as much as we can. You know what I mean? Like watch other people get to meet him, be in the venue. It was super fun.
It's funny being the last. My best friend and I were the last person to meet him at the Grammy Museum too, and it's funny because at that point it's like, okay, we're done with this like mound of people that have come up here. It's like way more relaxed.
That's what I thought too. Like it's, if anything, it's better for everyone. So Dale and I got we've made him the rooster helmet and then the blue dress helmet, and of course the Goat and I made the awesome Alice in Chains and Friends Fantasy Football League helmet, which I'll get to. So I gave Daniel the rooster helmet for his birthday. There's 3 of those in the world. I've got one. Jared's got one. Dale's got one. He signed that one, and he thought it was super cool. And they had a decent, like, it definitely slowed down for us towards the end because Jared's like, oh man, like I've got these helmets in my house. Like I'm going to take my little bit more time, and everyone else is already gone. Like the commotion's gone. All the loud, squawky 55-year-old women, no disrespect, we're all gone. So it was calm, right?
Yeah, there you go. That sounds better.
And signed the helmet, and Jared's like, oh, I've got this in my house. It's like it brought him back to being home. I'm sure he's probably not homesick already, but I'm sure he's you see something that it's in your house is one of a kind. You see it halfway across the country, like, oh, that's pretty cool. So then I was last. They ushered Dale out really fast, and then I got the old blue dress helmet signed.
About how long did you have with him, by the way?
It's super quick, but now that I think about it, we had like conversations about the fantasy football helmet, around the blue dress helmet, around the Herb thing we talked about just a little bit, and we both had he gave me the Jerry Cantrell laugh like 2 different times. I don't know. I mean, if I said 3 minutes, I don't think that's exaggerating too much, I guess. It was a very strict no phones policy. Like John, the merch guy,
who you already mentioned was like muscular, like I will fuck you up if you don't follow.
Oh yeah, he'll kill you like quick with 2 fingers. He told me. So John comes out before we start, and he's like, no phones. He's like, I can take them, or you're smarter to keep them in your pocket. He's like, I don't care what happens while you're inside. You don't pull your phone out. He's like, do we understand each other? And if you didn't say yes, he asked you, do we understand each other? It's like straight up drill sergeant. And I was like, yes, sir. Don't hurt me. You can hurt me after the show, but not before the show, because I want to see this. Yeah, I get it. It's kind of because during the sound check, dude, like things weren't perfect. You know what I mean? Like
right. If they're going to show it, they want to show it like the live show, or you get to a point where you can't really control 2,500 plus people.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what that place holds, 2,500 people. So no phones, which we respected, but I wish we could have had our phones out. Cause when I met Jerry in LA, Pico, we could have our phones out and I get to watch that, you know what I mean? Like 2 people were nice enough to record our interaction, and it's kind of cheesy, but at the same time, it's kind of fun. You can kind of remember the conversation you have with them.
You're a fan. It's important.
Yeah. So I have a hard time remembering the conversation that we had totally, but I remember we talked about, and he knew right away who I was, and there's a Herb guy from Minneapolis, and And someone else, which we'll get to here in a few minutes, brought it up already before. I didn't even know these people at the time. Brought it up how the last time he was in Minneapolis, he had his quote unquote friend come out who looked like Brian Herb to fool the crowd, which is kind of funny. But anyways, yeah, it was fun. We got our picture taken and it was over really quick, right? And so by the time we got out of that, it's probably 5 o'clock, 4:45, 5 o'clock, and we had to get back in line at 6 something. So we did that. My brother and I, Daniel, were lucky enough to get on the rail for the show. And then Tyler Bates' daughter is the opener for like the first half of this tour. So for the first month, roughly, Lola Collette and her band, you could tell they didn't have a lot of experience, but they were super good. She's super beautiful too. Like it was fun. They were a good time. Before that though, I'm always jumping on the line. When we were on the rail waiting for an hour and a half and trying to break my back, standing on my feet for the show to start, these people were right next to me, this husband and wife from Duluth. I don't remember their names. I wish I did. Super nice people. And I'm like, hey, how did the VIP go for you guys? Oh, it was so fun. We had to talk to Jerry and we had him sign a set list, from another show. I'm like, oh, that's cool, And she's like, yeah, we were here in April 2019 in Minneapolis, got to watch Alice in Chains play. And she's like, it was so funny because like one of Jerry's friends came up on stage, this big guy who looked just like his guitar tech. And
a rather chusky fella.
They have this chusky mate. And they did this whole, pretend to be his guitar tech thing. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And like, of course I'm playing it cool, like Joe Cool, but I'm bursting at the seams because I want to be famous.
So what'd you think of this guy?
I create content. My name's Dusty.
Would you listen to his podcast if you had one?
Just hypothetical.
I busted out my phone. I'm like this guy? She's like totally dumbfounded. Like I'm just the biggest creeper in the world. And her husband's all like cracking his knuckles. Thinking I'm gonna have to throw it down. He really didn't do that. And they're like, yeah, just like that. And I'm like, well, that was me. So, but anyways,
Surprise!
they got one of the set lists from good old Brian Herb and had Jerry sign that. So that's kind of fun, like to start the show out that way. So anyways, show started and the show on the rail was awesome. Like I said, they played Psychotic Break and Angel Eyes and some other, rather deep cut songs, a couple of good Alice songs. Then towards the end of the show, I know I'm jumping ahead a lot because it's just, I don't know if there's a lot of details I can go in that I should go into from the show because, it's just a typical awesome show from the rail. But anyways, towards the end of the show, it was the last song before they went to encore. They played Wood, and Greg was showing me all kinds of love the whole show, dude. Because my brother and I, of course, we know all the words. We're jamming out super hard. And I have this video on our Chusky Boys YouTube page right now. It's got tons of views. And he said something to us like 2 different times to me, like rather quickly, like, bah, bah, bah. And it's hard to say. Like when you're up there on the rail with their big monitors, it's just, for me anyways, it's hard to hear dialogue, right? Like,
with the loud, extensive, guitar sounds, and so you're only half deaf by that point, right?
It's like an hour and a half into the show, so your ears are ringing super hard already. And I thought Greg Puciato was saying something about, do you want a picture with me? For some reason, I was thinking that's what he was saying. So I pulled my phone out really quick, turned my camera on, turned the camera around in selfie mode, and I was going to turn around with my back to the stage and take a picture with me and him in the background. That's what I was thinking. Like in a split second, that was my plan. Probably not smart. Obviously, it wasn't what he was talking about at all. And as I pull my phone out and I turn my camera on, all of a sudden I feel this enormous weight on my shoulders and everyone cheering. And there's Greg. I'm pretty much holding him like a baby. And he jumped on the rail and he was holding onto my shirt. And luckily, not my left shoulder where I tore my labrum last year, but my right shoulder he was pushing down on. And, we're singing Into the Flood again. And it was pretty neat because my brother and I, we got to sing into the mic for like the best part of Wood. We're going back and forth. So that was fun. Like it happened so fast though. You know what I mean? I can't explain how fast a minute and a half is in that situation. It was just, he was there and he was gone. The lights are out. And Jerry says, good night. Thank you. And I'm like, oh my God, that can't be the end of the show. They've got to do an encore, right?
I'm blown.
You never know. The first night of the tour, you never know what's going to happen. Like you assume he does an encore. You wouldn't assume he would do a Sea of Sorrow either. And he did. So you never know what's going to happen. luckily they came back on, after 5 minutes. And then they played Man in the Box, and that's when it got really cool. Unfortunately, there's no video of this, but for Man in the Box, the energy with Greg was still there. He's still looking down at my brother and I, winking at us. And I've got some cool videos and pictures posted on my Instagram of Greg showing us some love.
Was that your Instagram or Chusky Boys, or is it on both?
It's on the Chusky Boys. If I can put on Chusky Boys, but it's on Chubby But Charming Instagram, which is me.
All true.
I'm
that's
chubby.
a true statement.
And I'm charming.
Yep.
When you watch, I have to say, when you watch the video of Greg with you do it on wood on the Chusky Boys channel, it feels like it lasts a long time. It's really cool and really amazing. It feels like you're there when you watch it.
It was a while. It wasn't.
And you still had that opportunity to grab your phone, brother, put it in selfie mode.
Oh, dude, I had it recording the whole time. I had no idea I was actually recording. And
Video
after I
was
found
way
I was
better.
recording, when I found I was recording, I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome.
Because there was an actual photographer in the crowd too that ended up uploading that and giving you the ability to download
There's a
it,
couple photographers. One was just a fan behind us. Another photographer who I've talked to since then. But yeah, the one photographer behind us, super cool guy. I gave him credit in the YouTube video that has like 10,000 views as well. He gave me that. He after the show, he waited for us, calm down. He came out to us. He's like, dude, give me your email. I've got a video of you that is badass. I'm like, all right, dude,
That's
for
so
sure.
cool. The more
For
you
free.
the more you go to these shows, Dusty, and maybe Carmen, you notice it too. And I don't go it nearly as much as you, Dusty, for sure. It's just this community, you know what I mean? Like almost this Alice in Chains family.
They seem really nice.
Except, right, there was I think it was during Wood. You had this big bald guy just burling up to the stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just going nuts. And it looked like Greg handled that with grace and just kind of jammed out with the guy. But I mean, I think for the most part, you look at that video and you're just like, dude, fuck that guy. You know what I mean?
He got
Don't
excited.
do that. Don't do
Greg.
that.
Yeah, don't
He
do
was
that. Don't be that guy.
overbearing. Yeah, everyone took a pretty hard shove when he came rolling in like a freaking bear in a china cabinet. And we all got shoved up. Yeah.
Everyone, another Chusky Boys PSA, be nice at shows, please.
Yeah, there's no reason, especially these shows. I've been to like Mastodon shows, Slayer, Phil Anselmo, you name it, and there are people get crazy. It's I'm a big guy, but I don't know if I go down, I'm not gonna get up very easy. I'm gonna hang back. I don't want to get a broken nose. I've seen people get shattered noses, shattered wrists from getting pushed off.
Closest I ever was to the rail was when Tool was in Rapid City one time. And Meshuggah opened up for him, this Swedish metal band that plays 12 string guitars. And we were right there on the rail. And I'm like, you know what? This fucking sucks. I'm going to back up
again.
I'm going to back up a little bit. And I still enjoyed the show, loudest show I've ever been at. And I think I mentioned that on a previous podcast. So, but Dusty, so what else? I mean, is there anything else?
Man in the Box, he came out as one of their encore songs. And Greg was like I said, still had the vibes with him. And he remembered us. And I'm sure he dug us because we were, super into it, whatever, no big deal. And he threw the microphone at us for Man in the Box. My brother, super alert, caught the damn thing perfectly.
So if your brother's not catching that, is that hitting you in the fucking forehead?
No, it was about 2 feet to the left of me, probably.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it was those twins I was talking about, my brother, then myself. And boom, caught the microphone. And again, I can't tell you, it's like being in a car wreck, like when your car starts spinning out of control on the icy roads. You're in control and you know what's happening, but you don't, you're not there fully physically and mentally. Caught the microphone.
It's a metaphysical moment.
Luckily, he wasn't metaphysical. Luckily, he was singing his part. He was singing Greg's part, Lane's part, Will's part, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it Daniel's part because he had the microphone. He was singing Daniel's part. Jerry's doing his part. And then Daniel I remember, I hope I'm right in telling the story. Daniel did most of it. He kind of looked at me and he's like, oh, yeah, here you go. And then I put the microphone out there and I got my head down. You can see in one of the videos, I start belting tunes out and then it was over. And then Greg's like a catcher, okay, throw me the ball. And we threw it up to him. And as he caught it, he got it back into his part. It was perfect here. We could have trained for this for 2 months and wouldn't have pulled it off. And then at the show, half a dozen
practice, no nothing, have no clue.
Half a dozen
magic.
Drinks in us. And then boom, it happens. It was magical, dude. It was and people asked me after the show and people I hardly even know and people I do know, dude, compared to going on stage as a Herb thing and compared to like what happened with this night, like what's more special? I'm like, I don't know. Like, the Herb thing was me alone in front of everyone, singled out, kind of stressful but super cool and memorable. And yet this other one wasn't nearly as stressful, but I was with my brother and it was, with friends. I had 10 friends there probably with me, new and old friends. It was one of those things. It was just different. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what was better. I can't say, but like, just like your other question about what song was better. It's just, they're different moments, but they're both like very lucky. You know what I mean? Like once in a lifetime. Now I've had 2 of them. So I can't expect anything better to ever happen. You know what I mean?
So that the show that we're going into in Denver, I think it was April 27th. How many of the people that you saw at that show are going to be at the Denver show?
Just one.
Oh, really?
Maybe 2. Yeah,
maybe 2 if the goat shows up.
That'd be 3.
Oh, I hope
she wasn't at Minneapolis. My bad. Never mind.
Yeah, right.
Spirit.
Just 1, maybe 2, depending on how the new job situation looks like. I don't know all the details. I'm not privy to those details.
Tom Marino coming? I know you got to give a shout out to Tom Marino.
My homeboy Tom Marino is not coming. I thought he was going to come to Minnesota there for a little bit, but he hurt his back.
Oh, shit.
Hopefully he comes out some show where we can hang out together.
Right on. Well, Denver's going to be exciting, I think. It will be. I mean, I don't think it's going to be. It's going to be
It'll be a good time. Yeah.
I am not getting in line at 2:00 in the afternoon to be at the rail or at the front, just so you know, dude.
I am.
On the subject of the rail, it was super cool that you were the last in the meet and greet line, but you got that close up to the stage and in a really cool position. Were there people like kind of fighting for that?
I don't know how that worked out. There weren't really. Usually like, you got your guard on, you know what I mean? Because people are crazy and they know where to go, where they want to go. The thing is, if you watch the videos, man, I kind of fucked that up and I didn't realize that. So maybe that's how I got the spot that I got, because I was like 5 people, 6 people, 7 people. I'm trying to think back. So the VIP guy got to go in 15 minutes early, 6:45 versus 7, right? I was in line until about 6:30. And watching the line from the bar window is so cool. The bar right there across the atrium from the main Palace Theater doors. So I didn't have to like wait in line all day, which is why my back didn't hurt so damn bad either. Usually you're staying in line all damn day waiting, and it just kills your back. Anyhow.
It's dedication.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you look forward to this for 6-7 months. Like, yeah, dude, I'll give up my afternoon to get on the rail because it's so worth it. Jared's going to learn that the hard way here in a couple weeks.
Absolutely.
My seat. So pro tip for anybody listening to the Chusky Boys, our tens of thousands of fans out there. Jerry's iPad right now is to his right, like chest high, right? So if you're on his left, so if you're on his right, which is the left of the stage. So you usually go to Alice shows. Everyone knows you go to the right of the stage if you want to be in front of Jerry. I'm not saying you have to or you want to, but it's fun to be in front of Jerry because he does all the solos and he's super cool, right? So I thought I'd get right in the center of the stage because Jerry would be in the center, Tyler Bates would be on the left, and the keys are on the right. I forget the guy, and the bass player, I forget his name too. So
George.
I was there. You go.
Jason.
I was on the left when the iPad is right there. So anytime you try to like see his face, get a good picture, good video. If he's at his mic, you're not getting you can't see his face because of the iPad. So if I had to redo it, I'd be on the right side of the mic versus the left side. But anyways, I got in there and I was still pretty happy with where I was at. I was pretty much dead center, maybe to the left, just 2 people of dead center on the rail. So I don't know if that answers your question or not.
Yeah, definitely. That was great.
But the people there were super fun. They always are. Like Minnesota people are just different breed, super nice. Kind of like where we're from, you know what I mean? In South Dakota, just good people. Don't you know?
Laid back and nice.
They eat the hot plate, don't you know? Yeah. It was cold there. I left Rapid is like 60-some degrees, and it was 30 degrees there. I'm glad I brought a coat. Actually, I didn't. I brought a hoodie, but it was good enough. It worked.
No, it sounds like a really great experience.
It was. It was fun.
When it was over, it must have just felt like a whirlwind.
When it was over, I couldn't hear anything for 36 hours.
The bar yesterday, Dusty, I still swear you can't hear that good. Huh?
I can't, dude.
What'd you say? Dusty, with some of the videos and stuff like that you took while you were there, being right up there in the front, and of course the microphone and some people that you knew or you ended up meeting after the show, the photographer and whatnot. So you ended up, you ended up on the Chusky Boys YouTube page posting, I think 3 videos, right? And how many hits we have on those right now?
26,000 between.
I'm sorry. Wait, what? Come again?
26,000.
26,000.
Famous.
I think prior to that, we were
In 5
sub
days.
100 total, I think, right? With Bogdan having like 31 views, thinking like, that's pretty good.
So this is 4,000 views. No, I'm sorry, 3,500 views short of where we're at right now because it updates at midnight. But we're up 30,000% in views. That's growth. We're up 5,700% in watch time. And we're up 2,000% subscribers.
I mean, subscribers, it's like still sub 50 subscribers, though, I think, right, Dusty?
40.
Like and subscribe, Chusky Boys. Those
That's right.
videos are
Like
worth
and
it.
subscribe.
I've been telling you ever since you uploaded it. My best friend and I account for 25,000 of those views. I can guarantee it because
Nice.
it is worth it. When you watch them, you feel like you're there, and they're in great quality and they sound awesome. So go and watch them.
All them bullshit comments be damned.
Let's
right?
talk about those
No.
comments.
All right, we can.
No.
We can.
Let's just hit it head on.
Don't give it power. If you ignore it, it doesn't exist.
So you drop. Well, so before the comments, go back to the 3 videos. So one, you sum up, it was them playing wood. And then you had the first one I think you posted was Sea of Sorrow. And then the other one was Black Gives Way to Blue, right? And so the original thought was that Sea of Sorrow, being that it hasn't been live for many, many years, like we talked earlier, would be have the most hits. Where then next thing you know, I think you're texting us a day later, 2 days later, whatever it is, right? That Wood's going to overtake it, which is kind of disappointing because they play Wood quite often, or at least Alice in Chains does, right? It's a very, very, it's any tour, you're going to hear Wood.
But in the case of his video, if you put on your 3D glasses, Greg's coming right at you. So
That's true too. And so, but then the other piece is the Black Gives Way to Blue, which, right? Isn't that the one that has the most hits now?
that one's heavy. When you watching Jerry do that for the first time, and God, how long has it been? That one is really heavy.
Sea of Sorrow came back with they're at 10,000 views, and Black Gives Way to Blue is 8,500, and The Wood is at 7,400. I want to give a special shout out before we get too far. Joe Lemke from Lemke Photography, joelemke.com, joelemke.com, gave me the video he shot of The Wood, which has my brother and I like perfectly shot in 4K. Us belting out the tunes where we probably were getting booed, but we couldn't hear because we were having too much fun. But yeah, anyways, to answer your question, Wood, Sea of Sorrow, Black Gives Way to Blue. I just uploaded my video that I took. That's only 1 minute and 1 second long from the rail when Greg was on top of me singing and I got to sing. Now I brought this up earlier. I'm gonna tell the story that I shouldn't be telling. Supposedly, I heard from a source, had four friends actually, at the Toronto show last night, that Jerry was feeling like shit today or yesterday. I think they got started late with sound check and the VIP, and things weren't perfect, right? I'm sure they were bad, but they weren't perfect. He was feeling shit. So I started feeling maybe a hint of a cold the day of the show, but I didn't want to admit it. Right? I'm like, no, I'm not. Because I knew my kid and my wife back home were feeling kind of shitty the day before we left. And I'm like, I can't get sick. Like, you don't get it. I can't get sick. I had a full-blown cold the day after on the way home. Like, I was feeling like shitty, like super shitty. So anyways, when Greg jumped up and we started singing and he put the mic on my face, he actually put it in my mouth. Like my tongue, my right teeth, my lips are all on the microphone. Like I tasted the metal. Oh yeah, I tasted the metal. And I was thinking to myself on the next day, I'm like, oh man, the first day of the show, I'm feeling like shit. I've got a
First day of the tour. Yeah.
First day of the tour. I'm feeling like shit. I've got a cold. I'm sure Greg, whatever I have is going to get.
Edit this part out for plausible deniability. Come on. We can't have that
Dusty
out there.
Hirsch, Somerset, South Dakota.
I don't want to get
whack that motherfucker. Done.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm feeling better now. It's not a big deal. My wife went to the doctor today.
Nobody cares if you're feeling better. Can we just say that right now?
We're a little concerned about these other guys. Yeah.
I know. Hopefully they didn't get sick. It ain't COVID. It's just a simple.
So back to change the subject to something a little bit more well, I wouldn't say necessarily positive, but definitely better than what we were talking about. How there was you met somebody at the show, and you don't have to go specifics or anything like that they lost somebody or something that you guys want to try to do something good for, right?
Oh yeah. On the YouTube channel, there's a gal, I won't say her name, but she made a comment, which you can find. There's only probably 300 comments, or I don't know, 200 comments between all the videos. She made a comment that
only 200 comments. Before then, we had one. Just throwing that out there. A growth of
Exponential
2,000% as well. But anyways, Dusty, keep going, man.
yeah, I was just reading reading the comments. Some of them are shitty, ignorant, whatever. A lot of them are positive and good, which whatever, it is what it is. But she made a comment about how she in Minneapolis for her VIP had Jerry sign something. Is it a picture with the Black is Way to Blue lyrics, maybe something like that? Something about Black is Way to Blue, because she commented on the Black is Way to Blue video how she's like, oh my God, my son passed away 6 years ago. I had Jerry sign this, best day of my life, whatever. So yeah, that was pretty neat.
No, so more recently I did a shirt I guess it was a couple months ago now. Last year, geez.
The
I was
trippy
lucky
shirt,
enough
right?
to do the
called,
trippy,
the trippy.
the trippy Jerry shirt, which was on sale for a while.
It's like one of his main shirts. Like if you look at the marketing for his Jerry Cantrell merchandise, like that's like the main shirt that you see all the time.
They just had a big sale, and I guess we're cleaning out all the other shirts that were on there to update it with tour merch. I was really shocked and surprised to see that my shirt is still there, so you can still buy it. It's bright green and fun and trippy. Again, that's the treat of a lifetime to have done that. And then I got to do the Chicago event poster for that show, and it was just amazing. I kept having these panic attacks because I worked so hard on it, weeks in advance, and I kept having these panic attacks going, it's not going to be my poster, they're gonna throw it away. Yeah, it was okay, but they're not going to go through with it, it's not going to be it. And day of the show, yeah, I guess that's what it was. So if you got an event poster from Chicago, I did that.
And it's limited, right? So Dusty had to pull some strings, pull some favors to have someone that went to that show to grab.
He's in waste management. He's got connects.
I use what I got to get what I want. You know what I mean?
Now you're both going to get that poster, right? You had someone that went to that show that grabbed it, right? Which is pretty sweet because it was only like 100 made or something. Is that what I heard?
I couldn't get, you can't really get them unless you're there. And it was so special because initially when I was approached about it, I got to pick the date that I wanted to do. And Chicago's a really special city, especially to my family. It's my mom's and my best friend, it's their favorite city. So, and I reached out to some friends who live in Chicago and was like, oh, I've got this idea. I see this siren in the water and I want to make it different and not really have the Sears Tower and not make it super, not super recognizable at Chicago, but I wanted it to have like the iconic corncob buildings is what a friend of mine called them. And so I was running these ideas by him and he was like, oh yeah, that's so cool. And so to be able to pull that off, having not lived there and kind of do it as a tribute to such a cool city full of interesting architecture, interesting, beautiful art, just felt amazing. So if you hated it, I'm sorry, Chicago.
And someone gave you a shout out though, I think on one of the socials, right? That said like this right here is Chicago. I mean, what you did in that poster embodies Chicago, which was, I mean, that's got to make you feel good, right? That was the whole goal.
Yeah, it's amazing. And again, having not even been, I was there briefly once, a really long time ago, but
Chicago O'Hare Airport, that doesn't count.
Really. No, not that. I went through, it was a long layover. No, but having someone not only say that, but someone complimented it on the Art Deco style, which is kind of what I was going for, hence why it's so muted. I mean, typically when you do event posters, they're supposed to be loud and boisterous and just a lot at once. And I wanted to keep that one really sophisticated. And I put Dealer on the moon, so that was nice.
So we had a Chusky Boys fan ask us, Sketchy Goat, I love the poster. Is that Dealey, Teddy, or just a general representation of Jerry Cantrell's rats? But you said who it was, right?
Yeah, that's Dealey. That's one of the rats. Dealer's face just fits so nicely on there. And I tried to do Teddy, but the way Dealey's face looks, just the lighting played really well with it.
So when you said the siren in the water, right? So I'm looking at the poster right now, and you've got the young lady who's green. How is that a siren? What's that mean?
So it's not exactly a siren because a siren is that's complicated mythology. That's all transformed throughout time. But the mermaid has been such a really recognizable icon. It's something he's used over and over for this album in reference to the siren song.
Mhm.
And I was just thinking, one of the most magical parts of Chicago is the water. And so what if the concept of, siren from the siren song calling someone to die in the Chicago River Lake, sorry. That was just kind of the idea there. And looking up, especially at the moon and how pretty everything is.
Yeah, it's super cool, man. When you said, how did you describe the buildings, the corn cob, that's perfect. Like you hit the nail on the head perfectly with that.
I forget what the building's called. They look so cool, but yeah, a friend of mine was like, "Oh, the corn cob buildings." Yeah. And I thought that was just adorable. I love that they're called that.
Well, there's 100 of them made. You and I own 2% of these posters. I'm glad to get a couple of them coming.
Ooh, thank you.
Shout out to Mark and Max again for getting that done for me last second and shipping them out so fast. So,
goddamn, dude! Every time, Denver's gonna bring something. Who knows what the hell it is? I just feel like we're gonna go to a bar. No, it'd be a daytime bar because we're gonna leave the day of the show.
mm-hmm.
Right. And then sort of staying, it's the all-nighter is what I call them. We'd go to Sioux Falls, me and JJ, my brother, Midwest Babylon. Shout out to him. And we would just do all-nighters and just head there, go to the show, get something to eat, go to a hotel, sleep, and drive back home.
Mm-hmm.
Rinse,
Same
repeat.
thing.
Sounds like exactly what we're going to do. The difference between probably both of you guys is the following day after we get back on Thursday, I go to Cancun, Mexico, which is going to be fucking fantastic.
Good for you.
I go to work.
I think it's important that we also mention that week there will be no podcast.
And this is which week?
The week of April 27th. So that's the day of the show. Yeah. Now, Dusty, the greatest experience is when you go to these Jerry Cantrell or Alice Chain shows. Sometimes it's getting the coveralls and looking just like Mr. Brian Erb. Other times it's just doing the VIP, getting up front and just making it happen, dude, and just being energetic during the shows. Once again, check out the Chusky Boys on YouTube. Over 25,000 views.
Woo.
We're big in Romania.
We got some fans up north in Canada. What are you talking about?
Don't you know?
That's right. Lots in the States. California likes us in Georgia as well, which is really, really odd to see, but we'll take it, damn it. Anyways, so next week, got you guys both all super, super, super excited, which is always great to see. And, honestly, the more I hear from you guys and look at his quote unquote resume, I'm getting way more excited as well. Who do we got, Dusty? Who do we got, Carmen? What are you thinking?
PaulFigMusic.com. Check him out. You can't miss it. Paul Fig, man, he's done. We were huge Alice in Chains fans in the last 3 Alice albums. He did Brighten for Jerry. Paul Fig engineered the Mopop event for Alice in Chains, which is freaking amazing. All those artists, I did all those. We're going to talk to him about that for sure. Not just Alice in Chains, though, man. He's done Hollywood Hailstorm, like movies and TV shows. Hailstorm, Deftones, love Deftones, AFI, so much cool stuff.
If you've listened to anything good in the past 10 years, it's probably because of Paul Figueroa. We owe him a thanks. We will thank him for his service. And we will hopefully not geek out too much, which is probably exactly what we're going to do.
If you've listened to anything good in the last 10 months, it's probably Chusky Boys. But if it hasn't been the Chusky Boys, it's probably Paul Figueroa touched.
Absolutely.
And he's done amazing things. Can't wait to have him on. So gracious enough to give us his time.
Yes, very nice, man.
That episode will drop next Friday, which is going to be April 8th. And Dusty and Carmen, if they got specific questions that we should ask.
We have a few questions out there already. Some pretty decent questions, actually. I'm going to send you a Chusky Boys care package, which is like a 62-cent sticker. That costs probably $2 to ship. I'm going to send you one of those out. But hit me up on my social, Carmen social, Jara social. The best way to get a hold of us, honestly, is if you want to do email, I'm not a big email guy, but it's thechuskyboys@gmail.com.
Or you can tweet us at the Chusky Boys on Twitter.
There it is.
And we will see everything there. But yeah, definitely give us a message or leave us a comment on at the Chusky Boys on Instagram. We will see those too.
They're all looked at. They're all reviewed. Check out the YouTube site. Check out, like I said, just check out all of our socials. We are making zero money on any of this. We're doing this for the fun of it.
It's killing JR too.
It is killing me every time that
he's like the Scrooge McDuck.
The two of them are being torn apart by fame. It's just tragic. Help.
You should see
Send
the
help.
group text that goes back between us three. Tara and I, like, we're homies on the podcast, but we're at each other's throats.
The tension
You can cut the tension with a knife.
with the knife.
It's like you paid for
Like a
the whole
butter
seat,
knife.
but you only need the edge.
So Dusty, we're gonna leave it up to you, man, with our salutation. You were the main person talking about the Jerry Cantrell show, first one of the Brighton tour. Dusty, goddamn it, if you ain't chubby and you ain't husky, what the fuck are you?
You're Dusty. Is that right? We rehearsed this a few times. I forget
So
what is
close.
it. It's your Dusty? No, it's
Husky
not.
Dusty?
Oh, you're Chusky. You're Chusky.
And for your case, you're Chusky Dusty.
Both kinds.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Peace.